Hi, this is Tony Nasca with DovNet Software. Today we're going to talk about an actual old module with a few enhancements that have been added, specifically the sales forecast module of the project system. I brought up the project system and we're going to do a quote. So we come over here to New Project. We're going to say a fire system. Pick up our customer. Ship address. We're going to put this into proposals, weighted answers. Now we might put it into proposal to do, but for this demonstration, I'm going to put in weighted answers, and I'm going to give it a title, Fire Safety System. Now here's the beginning of the sales forecast module, and that is where we set the percent chance of probability, and go ahead and choose 10%, or whatever position we think it's in. But I'll say 10%. Okay. And I go into the project editor, and I do my quote. And for speed, I'm just going to pull up an assembly and fill in the appropriate items, set my required fields, and say load. And it brings our quote together, and we're done. We've got a $8,000 quote. Now, we can track that quote by going to List and Status and click on Waiting Answers. And you see we have a list of quotes. And we have the project number, the customer, the title, type of sale, date in, and our probability. But notice we have a field here called Expected Close Date, which I have not filled in yet. And then other projects have them filled in, and they've been set as far as a percent chance to close. Of course, we have our salesman, and we have our total, like so. Now, if we want to update this screen, or as we want to update this screen, we can come over here to Set Percent. And now the system brings up the particular project in question, and we can go ahead and update to percent chance to close, and maybe we think we're further down now, and when they're going to make a decision. So I can come over here and set my month or date, etc. Now, the new addition here is this call scheduler checkbox. Now, the call scheduler, if we look on top menu, is a button up here, and it's a reminder system. So if I set the next call date when I want to talk to them, let's say I want to talk to them in June, and specifically, let's say I want to call them on the 9th, I can come over here and hit Call Scheduler. And now the system will put that call on the call scheduler. Now you might say, why does this have a K versus a C? Well, the C is used for the customer list, and this is a hotkey, so I could do an Alt-K and bring up the call scheduler. So that's why it got the name of call with a K. If I click on the call scheduler, you see it brought up the call. And what will happen is on that day, it will actually bring it up when you first log into Project System. So if I were to set this date to be today, for example, and save that. And if I hit refresh incidentally, right here, refresh, you notice it filled it in here. So it's actually a two-way screen. You can set it on here or set it on here, and the call scheduler is updated. So if I log out of Project System and I come in again, you'll notice it brings up the call scheduler like so. And from here, you can edit the project, you can make sales notes. All of that is possible right from the screen. The other capability that's been added to the system is, first of all, the call scheduler will let you change the next call date. So if you come over here and press your update checkbox here, it will also update the list and status with that same date. But a new capability that's been added, you can also change the percent chance of close on this screen as well, and press this update button here, and that will also update listen status with the next percent chance of close. So let's go back to listen status and weighted answers again. Now, again, I said you can use this set percent and update these as you feel necessary, setting the call date, like so, if the fact that you talked to them today, and as I said earlier, you can make notes. So I can come over here and add notes, and then I can do timestamp notes about the different conversations I've been having on this particular quote with the client. And then I can continue to walk up and down the screen as I update the percent chance of close. Now this is an important date because it also affects our sales forecast reports. So let's go to the reports. You can check proposals, weighted answers, and value, and special reports, and then forecast. That's the long way to get to that. You can actually set presets up here where I can say sales forecast report like so, and then simply hit begin. So it's done all the things for the sales forecast report, and I hit begin like so. And there's our sales forecast report. And you'll notice we have an expected close date, and we have our percent chance of close. Now notice that the percent chance of close weights the forecast. So this is a $7,000 quote. It's weighted at $6,000. If we had a 50% quote, there's our $6,000 quote. It's weighted at $3,000. So this is a weighted value based on the percent chance of close. While we're releasing this forecast module, I thought of a new capability and I just added it. Now we have the ability to sort this forecast report by order of probability, highest to lowest. And so now if we click on this highest position right here and hit click, you'll see the same report goes up, but it sorts it by order of the highest, in this case 90%, and down to 10%. The other capability that I also created is a funnel report. So this would be the classic funnel report, highest probability to lowest probability. So when I click on this and I hit begin, now we have a funnel report, again sorted by highest probability and the projects that fall into that bracket, and then on down. And I'm also listing the gross profit. I'm also listing the cost and tax so that I can come up with this GP figure, which is without tax. Okay, so that's the new capability that just got added as we're working through this forecast module. Continuing with the additions. On the sales forecast report and order by probability, we've added the ability to reverse that. Normally it's sitting from high to lowest, like so, but you can now switch low to highest and see the same report, sorting by lowest probability to highest probability. Similarly, with the funnel report, you have the default, which is high to lowest, like so, and you can reverse that and do low to highest. So that's the new sort capability and order by. The other capability is projection charts. And again, we're looking at proposals, weighted answers, and projection chart. And we can either look at by salesman or type of sale. And we can also set this as a preset. So if I were to clear the screen and come down here to a preset and say forecast chart, you'll notice it's brought up the charts like so. And now I simply hit begin, and now we have a chart of the different sales by salesperson. And at the bottom of this report, we have a different sales figures for that month. Now, if we come over here to product and hit begin, we get the same report. Now it's looking at type of sale, and in this case, access control is the one that has the highest peaks, and then we have fire system below it, contracts, and then monitoring, and then nurse call, etc. So there is the different charts, and again, you have the figures at the bottom that make up that forecast as far as type of sale. Okay. Now, there's also some reporting capabilities further than that. So let's go back to our original report, sales forecast report. What I can say here, I only want to look at quotes that are 70% or above, and I can click over here and say 70 like so, and then hit begin, and it will produce reports with 70% or higher quotes like so. I can also set the value I want to see. Right now it's set to be above $10,000. So I can come over here and say $10,000 and now do beginning. And there we have all the quotes that are $10,000 or higher and has 70% chance of close or higher. Now, I can also look at, show me all the quotes that are below $10,000. And I hit begin, and there's 70% and lower than $10,000. So there are some of the reporting capabilities that are possible from listen status. And there's many other capabilities from our tracking system, one of them being our corporate WIP report. I can just come over here and look at our open jobs and say begin report. And then this is going to look at all of our jobs, and you'll notice our estimated hours, our actual hours, our estimated labor cost, our actual labor cost, our parts estimated cost, our actual cost, and then extras. So listen status is a very powerful tool where you can do tracking of projects, both active projects and forecasting projects as well. Thank you very much.